Welcome to Channel 3's telecast of the Nantucket Martha's Vineyard game. I'm here with Chris Maury, Sarah McCauley, and pitcher Macy Pugh. The game's about to start. The Vineyard isn't here yet, but we're still awaiting them. Chris, this game is for everything. If you guys win, you are the league champions for the first time in Whaler history.
The first time in league history as far as being outright champions. The Whalers shared the championship back in 1990 and 1991 with Nauset as co-champs with identical records. Today we have an opportunity, if we beat Martha's Vineyard, to take the title outright, and needless to say, we're real excited about it.
Any butterflies?
Of course, there's always butterflies before every ball game, but plain and simple, we've had 2 days of practice. We didn't have back-to-back games this time, and we feel we're rested and ready to play. The girls are psyched.
Sarah, you had a couple great games with New Testament behind the plate when Adrian was out with the ankle. Moving back to the field, are you comfortable?
Yeah, I'm just glad Adrian's back.
And Macy, how's your arm feeling today?
It's feeling great. I'm ready to play.
All right, well, good luck, everyone, and we'll hope for the win and the league championship. Now to the game.
Help. Okay, welcome. We're back here. You just heard Coach Chris Maury and the co-captain Sarah and Macy talk with Eric. You can see the co-captains out there now. Vineyard a little bit late getting here. This game, Vito thought it might start in the vicinity of 3:30. The board out front said 4 o'clock, but here it is after 4:30, and the game is just about getting underway here. We'd like to mention all our fine sponsors who brings you today's championship softball game. Nantucket and Vineyard coming into this game 7-2. It's a winner-take-all. The winner is Cape and Islands softball champ, and the loser will go to 7-3 and be tied with Nauset for second place. All our fine sponsors will bring you to these games: Don Allen Ford, Congdon and Coleman Insurance, Pacific National Bank, Harbor Fuel Oil Corporation, Nantucket Wash and Dry, Nantucket Bank, the Inquirer and Mirror, Nantucket Airlines, Young's Bicycle Shop, Island Spirits, Something Natural, and Mike Lamb Incorporated. Bob Laundry on camera today, talking about maybe the last time he uses his equipment. He has some new equipment arriving, and maybe if the Whalers, well, not maybe, but when the Whalers get seated for the tournament, if we get a home game out of it, we'll be covering it. We may be covering it with some new equipment. With me on mic today is Eric Shaka. He's gone over to get the Vineyard starting lineup. We have Nantucket starting lineup here. I'll give you that, and then Eric will give you the Vineyard for Nantucket starting, leading off. Shannon Cronin playing first, Macy Pugh batting second, pitching, Christine Hansen center field third, cleanup Adrian Harvey the catcher, batting fifth Jen Murray at third, batting sixth Sarah McCauley in right, batting seventh Kristen Bro at short, batting eighth Rebecca Ross in left, and batting ninth Emily Butterworth at second base. Did we get a lineup from the Vineyard yet, Eric?
I am in the process. We'll have him momentarily.
Is this guy related to Sandy Beach? This is Sandy Beach's younger brother, right? Wavy Beach, they call him. Sandy Beach is over in the Vineyard doing the boys game, or selling ads, one or the other. But as we mentioned, we have championship fever around this game. A lot of fans here. As we mentioned, it's a later start, but I think the later start is actually helping out, getting more fans here. And Nantucket takes the field. Around the infield, Jen Murray at third, Kristen Bro at short, Emily Butterworth at second, Shannon Cronin at first, Macy Pugh on the mound, Adrian Harvey catching. The outfield left to right, Rebecca Ross, Christine Hansen, and Sarah McCauley. Leading off of the Vineyard is number 16, and we don't have her name yet, as we're waiting for the Vineyard lineup to get here. They said they were going to send us over a lineup, and they didn't, so we have to hunt one down here. Macy Pugh, after firing the first one outside the plate, comes back with 2 quick strikes and Foul ball, so we have a 1-2 count. Macy Pugh is not taking any time in between pitches. That ball comes back to her, and she turns and fires it again. Keep your eye on how quick she gets it back. Another foul ball. Count remains 1-2. Vineyard coming into this game not with a 500 record, but with a 7-2 league record. That's what's important today. Another foul ball. That was a little bit high. She went for it and got a piece of it. So the leadoff batter here for the Vineyard, fouling off a lot of Macy Pugh's offerings, and then gets a hold of one, pops it up to second place. Easy play for Emily Butterworth. 1 out. So that was Veronica Malconey who popped out, and Eric did it to me again here. Timeout here, and the umpire has a discussion on something here. Swing and a miss. E. Rothwell is up.
Elizabeth Rothwell.
Elizabeth is the pitcher.
Little low from Macy. And that's popped up too short. Kristen Bro. Oh, and it looks like Rebecca Ross reached right over Kristen's head and grabbed the ball for the putout. That's 2 outs. Close play there.
So Elizabeth actually was a pop-up. Rebecca came way in to take it in. So 2 up and 2 down for the Vineyard here in the first inning. There seems to be a lot of confusion around the Vineyard bench there. I don't know if some of the girls are saying something over there or what's going on.
I can't tell from here. That's
Melanie Flund is up,
it's
batting
2-0.
third.
3 straight balls for Macy. Pugh's working very fast here, it looks like, Dick.
Very fast. I commented on that before he got back, and she just gets the ball back and rips it, lets it ride.
And she puts the first Vineyard base runner on. That's Melanie Flanders with a base on balls. So we have 2 outs, runner on first inning.
Cleanup hitter, Mana Ditchfield.
Apologize for the handwriting.
I want you to get me a lineup much earlier than this, Eric. Fax it to me if you have to.
I'm not very connected with the sporting community out here, though. I have trouble with this kind of thing.
I mean, you could have met the Vineyard at the airport and got it all right down. I mean, they probably sat at the airport for about 45 minutes waiting for the bus to pick them up.
Swing and a miss, and the runner goes down to second, standing up.
Strike call, Macy. Ooh, look good. A little bit low. 2-2, I believe. Little pop-up. 3 outs. So at the end of a half inning, it is Vineyard 0 with Nantucket coming to bat. Okay, Nantucket getting ready to go here, Eric. You got some stats for us?
Yeah, Shannon Cronin's coming to bat. On the year, 368. She walked 19 times, had 14 strikeouts, but solid year at first base as was expected. She had 21 hits on the year, at bat 57 times. There's a strike. Looked a little low there, but
Hey, the umpire, home plate umpire, is going with the lower pitch.
Oh, and she is. Shannon whacked one to third, but the play was made, so that's 1 out. And Macy Pugh, the pitcher's coming up to bat.
That looked like it had base hit written all over it. Shannon got good wood on it, or good aluminum, I guess you might say. And there's some more good aluminum.
And Macy gets another hit. That is her 37th on the year. Coming into the game, she was batting .529. That is great batting average. Great to get that help from the pitcher. And she really has helped herself this year. And here's Christine Hansen. She's really a threat with the long ball as well. Adrian Harvey led the team with home runs, but Christine had 4 on the year. And so she can really send that ball out of here. We'll see what she does with it this time. I think I smell Vito's pipe.
Vito's in the neighborhood, right?
Oh, there he is now.
Low pitch ball.
Harassing the Vineyard.
Good stop by the catcher. It looked like it was going to go to the backstop. And would have got Macy into scoring position. She thought about going, but the catcher,
Oh, and Christine gets nailed on the left knee. She looks to be okay. That one could have hurt, though, and the Whalers will have a base runner to go with a walk, and so we have Macy Pugh on second and Christine Hansen on first base.
Yeah,
One out.
She could really zing there. So 2 on, 1 out, and
here's the hitter that can really hurt you. She's done it all year.
this is the part of the batting order Nantucket wants up in this situation, and they have it. Adrian Harvey with Jen Murray on deck.
Adrian with 7 home runs, 32 RBIs. And she'll add to that total. We'll see if Christine can come around. She's gonna stop, hold up at third, so Adrian Harvey gets her 33rd RBI of the year. And the crowd's getting into this one, Dick.
Yeah, we have a good home crowd here, and that's going to help the team today. And Nantucket comes out in the first inning, just what you want to do in a big game. Shut the opposition down and come back with a run or two, and they have 1 in with 2 more right there ready to come in. So second and third, 1 out.
And here's Jen Murray.
Jen Murray's job is just to keep the ball in play, get it to the right side if possible. And she does more than that. She singles up the middle.
And the Whalers have jumped on the Vineyard early. As we said earlier, this game is for everything in the league. If the Whalers win it, it will be their first ever solo league title. They have claimed a co-championship in 90 and 91, but they have never won an outright championship. And they're off to a good start here today.
It's winner take all today, right? No ties in this league this year.
Although, Dick, on that one, that is not completely true, although it is, there's a chance that if the Vineyard does win this game and they lose to Provincetown, which I believe is on Saturday, then there could be a tie atop the league. But the Whalers not wanting to take any chances here.
Well, if the Whalers win outright, they're champs.
Yes, exactly. But they want to keep their destiny in their hands and take the win. And there's Sarah McCauley, flies to right, and Jen Murray holds up there. So there's 2 outs. And Kristen Bro is coming to the plate, the shortstop. Kristen had a 400 average this year. 15 RBIs and 55 at-bats. Real solid fielder. She very fundamentally sound out there. She doesn't make a lot of. She had, I believe, 16 errors on the year, but she still pretty good at short.
That could come back fair. Could come back.
That one touched the plate.
So the ball is rolling in foul territory. It could have come back fair.
It looked like it might have actually. And that would have been a fair ball. You don't get that on a lot of fields, it rolling foul and then coming back in. But on these fields, it's possible, not to take anything away from the grounds crew, but it is a fair ball if it rolls out and comes back in.
I would have to say, after only playing, we haven't even played 1 full inning yet, I would say that Nantucket has their heads in the game much more than Vineyard at this point.
And that one's going out of play into the bushes.
Nantucket, the 2 outs this inning have both been hard hit balls. Shannon Cronin, the first out, was a shot to the third baseman. Sarah McCauley, the second out, was a pretty good ball hit to right field. That's strike
And that was
three
strike
anyways.
3 anyway, yeah. And Jen Murray was gone.
So Kristen
Oh, there's
strikes
Tucker
out.
Harvey there in the camera.
So at the end of 1 inning, it is 3-0. Guys, that's it. Ooh. Okay, Macy Pugh getting ready to pitch to 5, 6, 7. Lindsay Lehman leading off, the right fielder for Vineyard. Well, Eric, Nantucket got the jump they wanted.
Yeah, they came out. That was a worry coming into the game for a lot of people. We were talking about that a little earlier, that they wanted to keep their heads in it. And this is a big game for them. They sometimes feel the pressure a little bit, but with this big home crowd again, and with the importance of this game, the question was, can they come out and stay focused? And they did on that one.
Emily Butterworth.
Emily,
You don't catch many line drives that are deflected off the pitcher's glove, but Emily did it.
no, Emily Butterworth proving she's no butterfingers, and she grabs that ball, and that's the first out. Great play there at second base.
How often do you have somebody lead off the inning with a 1-4? When you read the school book on that one a couple weeks from now, if you weren't here, you're going to say to yourself, how the heck did she do a 1-4? That's what it was, a line drive up the middle. Macy Pugh got a piece of it, and it actually helped because it sent the ball over towards second.
Pugh just mows down Sarah Sprewell. Her bat was way too slow for Macy's heat there, and that's the second out of the inning.
So Jonna Agnell is up. I believe she's the designated hitter, or I'm not sure. If she is, she does her job. She lines one up the middle. And Vineyard has their first hit of the day, second base runner. So repeat of the first inning where Macy gets the first 2 and the third gets on. The first inning was a walk. Here in the second inning it's a single. So 2 batters though got some wood on, as I say, aluminum on the ball this inning. And Nantucket's lucky to have 2 outs and only 1 on at this point.
A couple of sharp hits there, so. But this bottom of the order, you can tell that their bats aren't coming around quite as fast. And if Macy can keep the ball somewhere near the strike zone, looks like she might have the chance for a couple strikeouts here. Strike
Swinging
2.
late, yeah. Second strike and the second late swing. So number 8, strike 3. So Macy has her second strikeout of the game.
And that one was way upstairs, and just blew it right by her.
So at the end of an inning and a half, Nantucket's leading 3-0. Okay, Rebecca Ross leading off here in the second inning for the Whalers. 8-9-1 for Nantucket.
Rebecca had a pretty good year at the plate, 321 average. And she pops it up just in front of the home plate there in foul territory, but it's caught for the out. 1 out.
Third baseman brings it in. We're here in the second inning. Second inning brought to you by Nantucket Airlines, the Nantucket Shuttle, the official airline of the Nantucket Whalers. They have the early flights out, 6 a.m. except on the weekends, and the late flights back on Thursday and Friday night, 8:30. Regular flights back 7:30. So the Nantucket Shuttle between Nantucket and Hyannis, Nantucket Airlines, the official carrier of the Nantucket Whalers. Give them a call for any reservations at 228-6234.
And here's Emily Butterworth. She didn't get to the plate too many times this year, only 15 at-bats, but picked up 4 hits for herself, but she's going to go down swinging.
I think her fielding has gotten her into the lineup more.
Well, we saw that definitely in the second inning, but that's why she's in there today. She doesn't get a lot of starts, but she's played a real solid game at second base. And
Chris Murray earlier in the year had the infield of Christine Hansen at short and Kristen Bro at second, and it was rotating some of his outfield is mainly right field and center field, and then
Well, he moved
made
Kristen
a
over to.
switch with Hanson going to center, and with that, Emily Butterworth became the regular second baseman.
And originally he told me that he had moved Kristen over to short because she was a little more fundamentally sound. And as I said before, she did have a lot of errors, but she had a lot of balls hit to her there, and she manned it pretty well. And it looks like Emily's positioning has already paid off with that great catch.
Yeah.
And Shannon just misses getting to the plate.
Quick inning for the Vineyard. After 2, Nantucket still holds a 3-0 lead. Okay, number 9, Kate Mitchell coming up for the Vineyard and back to the top of the order. And Macy Pugh, 1 hit over 2 innings, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk. She's done a fine job, Eric, for the first 2 innings.
Yeah, she has done well. She tends to, when she starts a game pitching well, she tends to follow it up. A lot of times she's come out and she's got knocked around in the first couple innings and had trouble down the stretch, but hopefully this is a good omen for the rest of the game. She's a little low here. Gets in the hole 2-0.
2-0 on number 9. You want to come back strong against this batter. You don't want to give her the 4 pitches, and now it's 3-0. So
now we'll go right down the pipe and try to get the strike.
Kate tried to duck under that a little bit, but the umpire didn't buy it.
The trick never works, really. And she walks the number 9 batter. That is not a good start to this inning.
So that's Macy's second walk and brings up the top of the order, Veronica Malconi. She popped out in the first inning to Emily Butterworth at second.
So we'll see if Macy tries to keep the ball low to get the double play. That one is just foul. That could have been trouble.
Just down the line, but the third baseman, Jen Murray, is playing close enough to the line. It would have to really be a shot to get by her.
1-1.
Veronica checking signals with their third base coach. Vineyard has 2 coaches here with them. I'm not sure which one's the head one. I assume the one on first base, but I'm not that sure, Eric.
That's Coach Rothwell, I believe, at first base. And that's a good time for a strikeout there with no outs with a runner on. And Pugh gets it. That's her 3rd of the game.
I mean, that pitch was right down the middle. I can't believe a leadoff hitter taking that type of pitch on a 2-strike situation. The crowd gets bigger. We see some of the school committee coming over there.
And there's a pop-up. Shannon Cronin's under it, and she makes the out. So,
Foul territory.
The runner at first not paying too much attention. Shannon threw that right by Macy Pugh and Jen Murray, and the runner at first was not, Katie Mitchell was not paying too much attention, and finally someone screamed at her to get to second, and she made it.
It wasn't the first base coach either.
No, I think it was the third base coach over there.
Rothwell actually fell asleep on that too.
Not a very common play, in fact, so they weren't looking for it.
Yeah, when there's a runner on base, you don't throw the ball around the infield, which you would do with nobody on base.
What it looked like is she just tried to return it to Macy, and it slipped out of her hand and fired out there towards the crowd.
So Melanie Flynn is number 3 in the batting order. Certainly had the take sign on a 3-0, but she finally gets the walk. So Macy Pugh now has got herself in a little bit of trouble here. 2 on, 2 out. And as we mentioned before, Dr. Lepre and Charlene Thurston, some of the school committee showed up over there. Superintendent Alan Myers over there. Vito Capizzo was here earlier. So a lot of the big shots. High school principal Peter Panchi over there. So all the big shots are here for the big game today, Eric.
The big shots are out in force. Nantucket's big shots are out in force. I feel very important to be here. How do you feel, Dick?
Oh, honored. Honored.
Very good. Very good.
I mean, with all the traffic downtown, what's a better place to be here on a Friday afternoon?
Exactly.
Actually, it's Friday evening now. I'll be late for supper tonight. So Macy Pugh having a little bit of trouble with her pitches at the moment. Big cleanup hitter on 2 out for the Vineyard, 2 out. She pipes that one right in. I can't believe that the Vineyard coach down 3 runs didn't have his cleanup hitter looking for that pitch.
Yeah, that was a little off-speed job that could have just been smacked, but she's loaded him up now. This is trouble because Lindsay Lehman
she hit the line drive.
hit that sharp line drive earlier.
So no place to put this one. Macy's got to get Lindsay. Vineyard's going to break into the scoring column here. Nantucket holds a 3-0 lead here, top of the 3rd.
Right by her, though. Good pitch from Macy. That looked like it was coming inside. Tough to tell from here, but looked like it was curling inside a little bit from the left-hander. That's a strike. Same pitch.
Same pitch taken all the way. So Macy Pugh, after walking 3 batters this inning, was back strong. Lindsay rocks one.
Big trouble there. That's over Sarah
We are
McCauley's
going to have
head.
a tie ball game. Vineyard may take the lead on
Vineyard
this.
probably will take the lead if this girl, Lindsay, can motor around, and she is going to have a tough play, and the throw is offline. And the home run from Lindsay Lehman puts the Vineyard up 4-3. And
do you want to call that a grand slam, or do you want to call it a triple and an error?
oh, let's call it a triple and an error.
All right, triple and an error. So 3 RBIs, but 4 runs come in. They actually had a shot at her at the plate. The throw come in a little bit wild.
I'm going to change that. I'm not sure that that throw was going to get to the plate in time anyway. It was going to be so close that we should.
But anyways, they get 4 runs out of it, and we're going to call it unofficial a grand slam. It's at least a triple grand slam. Maybe it's a 3.5 base, all right?
Let's call it a 3.5er.
But anyways, as they say, the walks come back to kill you. The walks come back to kill you at any level, and it certainly proved that today. The 3 that Macy walked all come in, and all of a sudden, one swing of the bat, and that's Vineyard's first hit of the inning. First hit of the inning,
Yeah, and with
second
2
of the game.
With 2 outs as well. That's a tough thing to happen.
2 outs, 2 strikes. 2 outs, 2 strikes. So
Yeah, and after she blew those first 2 pitches by Lindsay Lehman, and then she attacks the 3rd one. Gets a strikeout, though, so you can bet that Coach Maury's going to talk to Macy a little bit and try to keep her head in it, try to keep her all settled in there. But it's nice to come back with that strikeout, and maybe that boosts her confidence a little bit.
remember that 3rd inning was brought to you by Pacific National Bank, and they're still going by that name at this time. But maybe by the end of the broadcast it might be different, but we thank Pacific National Bank for being a fine sponsor of Whalers spring season. Okay, last of the 3rd, and Nantucket's down by 1, and the crowd noticeably became a little bit quieter, Eric, after that one swing of the bat by Lindsay Whaler.
Yeah, that's definitely true, but the Whalers are up in the dugout cheering on Macy, and that had something on it right there, that pitch.
Macy singled her first time up.
And she's going to bunt, and she beat the throw. That was a tie, and she gets on base. The Whalers have had success with that bunt play all year, and Macy, sporting that inflated .529 batting average, gets on again.
Pitcher made a great play in that. It was just Macy's speed
Macy was
that
too
got
quick, and it was a great bunt. That one chases Christine Hansen right off the plate.
And Rothwell is brushing Christine Hansen back because she hit her the
And
first
it's a
time.
double play ball, and they only get 1.
They take the sure out at second, knocking down the lead runner, and don't even attempt the double play.
Well, it's tough to get the double plays in this with these short.
The ball was hit.
base
Yeah, the
passes.
ball was hit so slow that I don't think they were thinking double play at all. And you want to take the sure first out, and especially when you can get the lead runner.
Here's Adrian Harvey.
She got the rally going in the first inning with a big double to drive in the lead run to give Nantucket an early 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like her sprained ankle's hurting her at all, which is good news.
Okay, the wild pitch will get Adrian Harvey, not Adrian Harvey,
Christine Hansen
Hansen to
takes
second. And put another duck out there on the pond for Adrian. A hit now will have a tie ball game.
And Adrian was actually, looked like she was a little out in front of that ball. She's got a pretty quick bat, and she really wanted to get a piece of that thing. It was a little high, but she was all over that pitch.
Yeah, she saw it all the way. As you say, it was a little bit high, but a
little pitch out there, looks like.
A batter like Adrian will take a high pitch a long way.
So they're walking Adrian Harvey, and it looked like they were trying to pitch out to get Christine off the base the first time, but the catcher just stayed standing up, and they threw the ball high and put Adrian on base with the intentional walk.
You don't see too many intentional walks in
no, and I've never seen one with the catcher standing right behind the plate there.
Yeah, she just threw them high on purpose. She didn't step out like they normally do for an intentional walk situation, but it definitely was the intentional walk.
And the umpire having a word with the catcher. I wonder what he's saying.
Okay, Jen Murray. Jen Murray had the big hit of the game for the Whalers so far. She singled in the first and drove in the runners for second and third with 2 RBIs, and she'd like to pick up another one right here to tie the game.
Well, and Jen's a good... they had Adrian Harvey there at first, but the first baseman decided that she wasn't going to go for the tag. I think she might have thought that she could get the force. I'm not sure exactly what she thought there, but they had the throw over to first well in time to tag out Adrian. And the Whalers living dangerous lives on the base paths, but managing to come through. As I was saying before, Jen Murray's a good batter to have up in this situation. She only has 1 strikeout on the year, which is very low, and she does have the 8 walks. So she is a patient hitter. And
Rothwell's a little upset with that call, though. Rothwell thought she had him at third. That there looked like sort of an intentional walk, too. But anyways, a single, and a couple of walks, and the Whalers have the bases loaded here now for Sarah McCauley, who flied out to right field in the first inning. Low pitch comes in, strike. Infield fly, batter out. So Sarah pops out. It was the infield fly, automatic out, but the shortstop catches it anyways. I always like when the defense gambles on that. As soon as they know it's the automatic out, is not to catch it and see if you can get anybody moving. It's a very confusing play when it's not caught.
So here's Kristen Bro. Takes the strike. Tried to duck under that again. Again, it didn't work, and she smacks one. I don't think that's going to be deep enough, but the outfielder falls down. And Kristen's going to be in with a double. Very fortunate play for the Whalers there. The left fielder was right under it and just fell down, and looked like the center fielder ended up picking up the ball and throwing it in. But Kristen Bro
very
ends up
catchable
on
ball
second.
there. Very catchable ball that the left fielder just lost, and Kristen's going to get credit with a 3-run double, and Nantucket takes the lead back 6-4.
Yeah.
Kristen Bro has come on Channel 3 a lot, and we're very proud of her 3-run double.
And Rebecca Ross adds to it. That's going to score Bro. Ross is going to end up most likely on third. And she is in. And the Whalers have come right back in it after the Vineyard took the lead and grabbed the lead once more.
Yeah, 4 runs for the 4 runs for Nantucket, and Nantucket has their 3-run lead back, 7-4. And all of a sudden, the Vineyard outfield looks pretty weak when you compare it to the Nantucket outfield.
Yeah, they've had some trouble there. First the ball in left, and then another catchable ball. A little tougher play out in right, but Rebecca Ross ends up with a triple.
It was a catchable ball, though, Eric, and as I say, the Vineyard outfield a little bit shaky on the last two, and Nantucket's going to benefit with 4 big RBIs out of it.
And that was foul. Third baseman picked it up off outside of the line. So Emily's going to head back.
Third baseman had the play on it if it was fair, but as soon as it rolled foul, grabbed it in a hurry. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Nantucket sends 8 up, gets 3 hits and 4 runs, and has a 7-4 lead after 3 innings.
He's on third.
He's on third. No, they put him back in second. Was the whole thing. Okay, we're getting ready here, and during innings we're sort of talking about what's going on the other island, where the Nantucket boys had a replay the last 2/3 of the inning against Vineyard, trailing 12-10, and Ty Winger would be coming up with Sam Myers on second, Matt Bridier on first. So that's probably history right now, but we don't know the outcome of it.
Well, we saw Ty Winger practicing his bunting earlier, so I don't know if that's going to come into play. What do you think, Dick?
I think there's a shot to left field. That's going to get over Rebecca's head. That'll go for at least 2. Rebecca runs it down nicely and will hold it to a double. Yeah, I was watching Coach Nikki Duart and Art Crowley warming up before they left for the Vineyard today, and they had Ty Winger batting. They had Sam Myers on second, and Ty was standing in the back of the batter's box, and he was going to fake a bunt, and Sam Myers was going to steal, so Nantucket was going to go for the double steal. They got the tying runs into second and third and take it from there. So if that was successful, Nantucket would be in good shape. If they throw Sam Myers out at third, pretty much the ball game would be over at that point.
And the ball game is probably over at this point. So
on clockwise, it's certainly over, unless they're in about the 14th inning, tied 12-12.
And getting back to this game, Rebecca Ross made a really nice play out and left to run that ball down and get it back in. And holding the batter to a double was good play out there.
Yeah, Nantucket certainly has the better outfield play early in this game. Vineyard's grand slam was a shot to right center field, no stopping that, but Rebecca played that one well. Last inning, Vineyard didn't play 2 of them very well. 3-1, and all of a sudden Macy's getting herself in trouble here again. Number 8, Brianna Volcott, struck out her first time and might have went after a pitch outside the strike zone, but it's 3-2 right now.
And she gets a swing in there. A little curler coming inside on Brianna, and she strikes out.
So good comeback by Macy Pugh after falling behind 3-1, goes back and strikes her out, and that saves a lot. It's much easier to have 1 out, 1 on rather than nobody out, 2 on.
And especially after that last big inning for the Vineyard with all the walks, it's good to see that Macy is still confident in throwing that ball inside, and she got the strikeout.
Big 2 strikes on Kate Mitchell. Kate Mitchell got last inning started with the walk, batting out the number 9 spot. And she golfs one at the left center field, and that will get a run in and gets in the gap. Christine Hansen can't cut it off, recovers, and Kate will stop at second.
So the Vineyard gets a run.
And it's 7-5, so we got ourselves a ball game here, as they say here, Eric. We're in the 4th inning, brought to you by Congdon and Coleman Insurance Agency, established 1931. They're down on 57 Main Street. Give them a call at 228-0344 for all your insurance needs.
Yeah, Bob won't be able to get home and check on things. This will not go to the slaughter rule as he was hoping.
Not too often do you get the slaughter rule in a championship game, Bob. Sorry. Okay, Veronica Malcone up. She has popped out and struck out from the leadoff position. Macy's had pretty good luck with her and like to get her here again.
Good pitch inside there. The Vineyard batters, the right-handed batters at least, were facing the left-hander. It looks like they're a little tentative at the plate, and they're jumping back on some balls that are called strikes. So Macy has the distinct advantage there, just being a southpaw.
You're watching this game Sunday night. This game was played Friday afternoon. Little pop-up. That could drop. That could drop. Christine Hansen can't get there. Almost gets the runner on second base, leaning a little bit as she scooped it up nicely. So the runner on second can't advance because Christine Hansen had a play on it, but had to come a long way and couldn't get there. And now Elizabeth Rotwell's up. She's 0 for 2, and she could really help her cause here. She's the Vineyard pitcher, and she has 2 on, 1 out. Going on right at this moment is the JV boys baseball game at the high school field across the way, and on the Vineyard, the JV softball and varsity baseball. So 4 big Vineyard games today. And I also heard Vineyard's making a trip to the island tomorrow. Lacrosse and soccer, is that true? As we say this tomorrow, this is, you're listening to this Sunday night, so it was actually yesterday, Saturday.
And in fact, you saw the game on TV last night.
And you might have saw me there.
It's all very
trying to
confusing.
funnel myself through lacrosse.
No, there's a big Vineyard lacrosse game. It's the first annual Nectar Cup, which is sponsored by Nantucket Nectars. The student lacrosse team is the varsity team. The older high school kids are playing against the Vineyard at 1 o'clock. In fact, the game was yesterday.
Can you give me a little hint on lacrosse right now so I can do a good job yesterday on this game? What do they call the players running around with those sticks in their hands, Eric? Oh, another
There's
shot.
a sharp hit, and that one gets by Sarah McCauley.
Melanie Flanders might clear them all. Another
Flanders is
going to
come home, and 2 times the bases have been loaded, and 2 times the Vineyard has gotten a home run, and that'll put Nantucket back down. Looked like McCauley tried to...
that was a shot to Sarah, yeah, and one hopped her, and
looked like
pretty
she
much
was
all
trying
you
to
can do
come
is
in and
get your body in front of it, and when you don't, it's bye-bye, and that is bye-bye.
yeah, and
That's what makes it a good rivalry. Things like this.
that's what makes a good rivalry, adds Bob, and unfortunately for the Whalers, it makes this game
Well,
a little closer.
That's the second grand slam in 2 innings here. We're not the way we had hoped, but Vineyard in this back and forth ball game holding a 3-0 lead. Nantucket holding a 3-0 lead. Vineyard come back with a 4-3 lead. Nantucket then went ahead 7-4, and now Vineyard, with their second grand slam, with an RBI in between, has jumped back to a 9-7 lead. So Vineyard not strong on the defense, seems to be very strong in the clutch hitting end of it, Eric.
Well, they've been, again, they've gotten on base, whether it's through walks or base hits, and when they've had base runners on, they've brought them in. So they've made some clutch hits, and we'll see if Macy Pugh can keep her head in it and get this out and then move on from there.
Macy has 5 walks today, and 4 of them have scored, so that's what's hurting Macy right now. Last inning she walked 3, and all of them scored. This inning, 1 walk, and that one scored on this grand slam. The only person who didn't score was Melanie Flanders, who walked in the first inning. So the walks are hurting her right now.
And Melanie Flanders just hurt her from the batter's box. And that's a little comebacker, and Macy to Shannon Cronin gets the out.
So 2 outs, and it brings up Lindsay Lehman, who had the grand slam last inning. So Mana Richfield, the cleanup hitter, hasn't supplied the power. It's the 3 and 5. So Vineyard has a tough middle part of the batting order here when you can get a grand slam out of your 3 and 5 hitter.
There's that little curler again coming in on the right-handed batters. That's worked well for Macy all day. And another error for...
That is the first
Kristen
error of the
Brown.
ball game, though.
Yeah, that's that's the first of the ball game for the Whalers, but 16th on the year for Kristen.
So that brings up Sarah Sproul. Sarah has struck out twice today, so Macy's had her number. Macy has 5 strikeouts, and she's got Sarah twice. Top of the 4th inning. We're 1 out away from being halfway through. Strike 3, and she's got Sarah 3 times. But Vineyard comes up with 5 big ones here, and at the end of 3.5 innings, Vineyard is holding a 9-7 lead. Okay, Shannon Cronin leading off here for the Whalers, the last of the 4th. Nantucket is now down 9-7. Shannon 0 for 2 today. Ooh, and she gets whacked. Second hit batsman. So Nantucket gets their leadoff hitter on as Elizabeth Rotwald comes in a little bit tight there and whacks Shannon.
Yeah, and Shannon's walked, previous to this game, had walked 19 times on the year. There's Macy. That one is caught, and Shannon Cronin will have to go back to first base. Shannon Cronin had walked 19 times coming into this game. That's tops on the team, and that was a painful way to get on base, but
Macy Pugh line flies out the right. Right field looked a little shaky on that. Macy had 2 singles before that. Christine Hansen up. She's looking for her first hit, although she's been aboard twice on a hit batsman and a fielder's choice.
And the sun comes out for the first time all day, or this game at least.
So 3 balls on Christine. Let's see if actually it's 2-1. 2-1 on Christine. Now it's ball 3, 3-1. And all of a sudden Elizabeth Rothwell's a little bit wild herself. She pipes that one right down the middle, and with the sun shining here, Eric's got all his suntan lotion. He's going to be lathering up.
Bob, don't take off your shirt now.
Is it true you have a big blue N on your chest, Eric? You're going to show here as we go into the top of the 7th?
And you have ANTUCKET written across your chest,
yeah, it
right
could
there?
fit, right.
That's what I was thinking.
So Adrian's up. Adrian's doubled and been intentionally walked. On base twice, 1 RBI.
And Shannon Cronin goes to third.
Oh. All right, so a rare call there. Once the ball goes back to the pitcher, you can keep going towards second or you can head back to first. Christine started back to first, but when Shannon Cronin was stealing third, she decided maybe she could take off for second, and the umpire picked it up. And she took a step back to first and then took another step to second, and that constitutes a lead, which is not allowed in softball. So Christine Hansen is called out for taking the lead. I don't know how we call Christine Hansen. I guess we have to call out stealing. Anyway, she's called out.
Yeah, out stealing.
Unofficially out stealing. But a big play goes against the Whalers here. So instead of having 2 on, 1 out, they have a runner on third, 2 out. But a big RBI for the Whalers here. Adrian Harvey can get Shannon Cronin home. Will cut the lead to 1. Nantucket is losing 9-7.
And the ball goes to the third base side, and Adrian Harvey is called out. That's 3 outs, and the Whalers are still down 9-7.
Nantucket still down by 2, and Vineyard's got the actually Jana is up. She already has 2 hits in this game, Eric, and she got last inning's rally started with a double.
Yeah, she's had a good game so far and getting on base. And The Whalers do not want to let her get on again. Getting late in the game, can't really afford to give up too many more runs. It would be nice to hold them in this inning.
Yeah, either one of the pitches is going to come on strong here. It's been sort of an open game here, a big inning game. Nantucket's had 2 innings, 3 and 4, and Vineyard's had 2 innings, 4 and 5. Whatever pitcher can get hot here and shut down the other team for a couple of innings could constitute the win. Remember, the winner of this game, especially Nantucket, clinches at first place. Vineyard, as you mentioned, has to play another game, but Macy gets a big strikeout here.
Yeah, and Macy has been clutch all year. She's got the big 11-3 record, 4.38 ERA with 56 strikeouts, I believe, and we'll see if she can, coming in towards the end of the season, if she can add another win.
That's her 7th strikeout today, and the batter coming up, Brianna Walcott, has already struck out twice. We're here in the 5th inning. 5th inning brought to you by Harborview Oil Corporation. Over 30 years of dependable service. Give them a call at 228-2411.
Little bunt, that was not cleanly fielded, but Jen Murray picks it up, and she is out. That hit Shannon Cronin's glove and bounced over to Jen Murray, who picked it up and threw to Emily Butterworth, who was covering second, and that is the first out of the inning.
Second out.
Second out, I'm sorry.
Another odd put out there, 3 to 5 to 4, Eric. You don't see that combination for a single out.
No, this has been an interesting game. We've had some calls we haven't seen too many times, and a couple of plays. You remember the one that went off Macy's glove, and Emily caught earlier. That is straight away to center, and Macy comes out with a real strong, quick inning and holds the Vineyard.
3 up and 3 down. So Nantucket coming to bat in the 5th inning, still trailing 9 to 7. Okay. I got it rolling.
Okay, so it's the Whalers' turn to bat. They're down 2 runs. And that's a called strike.
You can move it. You can like stay in this shot, right? You can go over to Macy. Oh, it's not Macy.
The other team.
Sorry.
You can go back.
And Jen Murray strikes out for the first out of the inning. And so 1 out in the bottom of the 5th for the Whalers. Sarah McCauley to the plate.
I'll take care of it.
So Macy Pugh come up strong. Now Elizabeth Watwell wants to answer, but Nantucket doesn't want to go too deep into this game down. Right now they're down 2. Jen Murray was on base twice. She struck out, and now Sarah's up. Sarah has popped the shot and flied to right, looking for her first hit.
And the Whaler bench getting into this now.
At the Wheel bench has really stayed alive this game. A lot of yelling and cheering. The fan support is here. A lot of fans on both sides of the field here.
Sarah couldn't quite get around on that one. Knocks it over the backstop.
We're in the 5th inning. Part of the 5th inning brought to you by Don Allen Ford. New and used cars. They're out on Popasar Road. Give them a call at 228-0134. Fly ball to deep right. Oh! Nice catch by Lindsay. She really looks like she not sure what's going to happen there. But
She looked like she was a little surprised that ended up in her glove. She's actually smiling a little bit out there after the out.
Oh, we have a new camera person.
Oh, Bob took off. I didn't even notice. This one's
Jessica Bro on camera. And guess who's batting? Kristen Bro. Kristen had the big hit for the Whalers in the 3rd inning. She doubled with the bases loaded to drive in 3 to give the Whalers the lead at that time.
and
she shoots
rocks
up the middle.
one
Another hit
straight
for
up the
Kristen.
middle, and that'll be a single for Kristen.
So Kristen's second hit of the game. So the Whalers have 1 on, 2 out here. And Rebecca Ross is up, and she had a big triple in the third inning after Kristen's double.
Yeah, Christian Bro really got a hold of that one, smacked it right up the middle, and Rebecca Ross, who did some early damage in this game, is up. Ball low, 1-0.
Vineyard will be looking for Nantucket stealing in this situation, so watch the catcher coming up throwing. Third baseman lost how many outs there were, but still gets the forced out at second. Not the thing you want to do with 2 outs and an easy play at first, but that's the third out. So at the end of 5 innings, Nantucket is still trailing 9-7.
All right, we're back. This inning is brought to you by, we'll get to this in a second.
And that's Veronica Marconi, and she's going to get her first hit of the game.
Oh, and that's a close play there. Looked like they get ahead of the throw was a little offline, but she's in with a stand-up double.
And she just, as you said, just did stand up there. The throw, it was actually a strong throw. It was a little bit off to the shortstop side, but it was a strong throw. And I thought it was going to be an easy double, but Nantucket almost got her.
Macy comes right back with a nice pitch.
Elizabeth Rotwell up the pitcher. She's 0 for 2 today with a walk.
And she's 0-2 in the hole, and she rocks one out to center.
And an easy chance for Christine Hansen at center, and the runner cannot advance from second. Nantucket already down by 2. Does not want Veronica to move around the bases here. We're in the top of the 6th. Remember in softball, if we have a few fans out there watching for one of the first times, softball, high school softball is only a 7-inning game as high school baseball.
So 1-1.
Now the tournament, when you get into the tournament, I know baseball goes to 9 innings, but I'm not sure if softball. I think softball still remains
I believe
7.
it remains at 7, yeah. And that should be
pop-up.
an easy little play from Emily Butterworth. Gets under it and gets the second out. As I was saying before, this inning brought to you by the Enquirer and Mirror. On the newsstands Thursday morning, the only island newspaper you need to read for local news, entertainment, and, of course, sports.
And that's had some little sports scorecards you put in there.
Oh, the beautiful, most comprehensive sports scorecard on the island deck, in fact. In fact, the only one, but it is still the most comprehensive.
You know a few people down at the Enquirer Mirror.
I know one or two.
Okay, Macy Pugh's bared down here now after the first batter got on by a double. And it's gotten 2 and 2 strikes. And the big cleanup hitter, Marta, is 0 for 2 today. And Macy would like to get her one more time here. A little bit low, 2-2. I think it's a little bit chilly now that the sun went down.
Yeah, the sun's behind a cloud, and it's getting a little chilly. Macy throws the ball a little high there.
I think it's a full count, I'm not sure. Anyways, the base hit, and this could get a run. And let's see if Sarah can make the throw.
And the throw's offline, the run scores, and the Ditchfield will go to second on that play.
I don't know if Sarah was throwing to the cutoff or throwing home, but if the throw comes home nicely, they have a play at the plate because it was a good throw, but somehow it looked like it might have went through the cutoff.
It looked like she was thrown to the cutoff, although from the point where she was on the field, she would have probably been best off just coming straight home with it. She definitely has the arm to do that, and but that's academic. The run scores, and the Vineyard have taken a 3-run lead.
And that's Mana's first hit of the day. And it brings up Lindsay Lehman. Lindsay's 1 for 3, but that one was a grand slam. And she hits another rocket. Way back, way back.
Christine Hansen traces it down. She comes in, and Lindsay's in with a stand-up triple.
And that's Lindsay's 5th RBI of the day. And Nantucket just when it looked like they might have been out of the end, and Macy Puke is up back-to-back hits, and Vineyard has their biggest lead of the day, Eric, 11-7.
Yeah, this is when the Whaler bench starts to get a little bit worried.
Fair
Drops
ball.
on the line, fair ball.
Again, the first base coach falls asleep there. The girl is looking around what to do, and the first base coach is saying nothing to her.
Yeah, she was standing off, and all of a sudden the entire Whaler team started yelling, "Go get her!" And they weren't able to. And the throw to little snap throw to first, and Shannon Cronin cannot make the tag.
That was Sarah Sprill's first hit of the day. It was a fluke hit. Macy had struck her out 3 times.
So
And
another
Jana gets her 3rd hit of the game, and all of a sudden, Vineyard is teeing off on Macy. After getting 2 quick outs here, Vineyard has come up with 4 straight hits.
Well, McCauley and Hanson have been real busy out there.
We're going to have change of pitches here. Jen Murray has come over from 3rd base. Macy Pugh has left the game for the moment and switched positions with
actually,
Jen.
Macy's going to stay in the game. Yeah, she's gonna switch positions, as he said. She's going to be at 3rd. If you're watching this, if you're watching a high school softball game for the first time, the pitcher can go out and come back in. So
yeah, as long as she stays, or as long as she stays in the game too. Actually, in Major League Baseball, you could leave the mound, and I remember the New York Yankees used to do that. They used to take the pitcher, if it was like a right-handed pitcher and it was late in the game before they had these middle relievers and closers, they used to put the the starting pitcher out in right field, bring in a relief pitcher to pitch to one batter, and then after getting that one batter would bring the starting pitcher back in and put a new right fielder in. And I always thought that was very creative, but in today's baseball, they're carrying 12 or 13 pitches. They have 6th inning pitches, 7th inning pitches, 8th inning pitches, 9th inning pitches. So you don't see a switch like that happening anymore. While we have a moment here, while the pitcher warms up, I'd like to say that Spring Sports is brought to you by a lot of fine sponsors: Don Allen Ford, Congdon and Coleman Insurance Company, Pacific National Bank, Nantucket Wash and Dry, Harbor Fuel Oil Corporation, Nantucket Bank, The Inquirer and Mirror, Nantucket Airlines, Young's Bicycle Shop, Island Spirits, Something Natural, and the Nantucket Bagel, and Mike Lamb Incorporated. We thank all these fine sponsors for bringing you Spring Sports. And this is the last regular season game, and we would like to mention that tournament time next week, and both softball and baseball will be in the tournament, and we hope to cover a tournament game or 2.
And so Jen Murray, and it looks like we had the same play that was made on Christine Hansen earlier.
I don't believe that call.
Jen Murray goes in, throws one pitch, which is a ball, and the Whalers are out of the inning. The field umpire called the base runner out at first. Looked like it was the same kind of call as Christine Hansen got earlier. So the Whalers get payback, and they're going to be up in the bottom of the 6th, down by 4.
Yeah, that was definitely a leaving early. Christine Hansen's situation, it wasn't so much of a leaving early, but it's sort of the even off call here. The umpire wants to make sure he's evened everything off here, so he can leave the field in one piece. You know, he sees a lot of Nantucket fans around, so he wanted to make sure that he called one for the other, and he does that. So we're gonna have to have an out stealing there, and Jen Murray gets the relief job done. Actually, Vineyard scored 3 times that inning, Eric, so they have a 12-7 5-run lead.
I'm glad you're keeping the book there, Dick, or we'd be in big trouble.
Okay, last of the 6th here. Will is down by 5. They have to get something going here. Emily Butterworth, Shannon Cronin, Macy Pugh up for the Whalers. Emily has struck out twice today. She's looking for her first hit. Fouls off a bunt attempt.
Yeah, Emily's been behind the pitches all day, so she's sent up there with the...
Ooh,
third
that
strikeout for Emily Butterworth. That was a tough call right there. That looked a little high and out, but
Yeah, that
she'll sit down nonetheless.
even from our offset angle here, that did not look like a strike. And even our camera person, Jessica Bro, who was filling in for Bob Blondie, who had a run home for a moment. Shannon's up. Shannon is 0 for 2, hit by a pitcher last time up.
Called strike, 0-1.
Whalers only have 6 hits today, 3 of them in the third inning. So Elizabeth Rothwell, after that third inning, Eric, has gotten a little bit stronger.
No pitch there. Shannon Cronin had her hand up. The umpire was a little slow to respond, but calls it just as the ball's coming in. So it's 1-1.
Low 2-1. Nantucket looking to get base runners now. They need base runners, trailing by 5. Remember, you're watching this game Sunday night. This game was played Friday. Don't want to say afternoon. It was actually an early evening game, not getting started till well after 4 o'clock. As I sit here now, it's 5 of 6, so the game won't get over till after 6.
And Cronin gets on base with another walk. Last time, as we said, she was hit by a pitch, and Pugh comes up. And again, the team's leading hitter percentage-wise. Good time for a hit here.
Macy's been on twice, a line single to right and a bunt single, one of her trademarks. And she tries the bunt and fouls it off. One thing that the umpire in the field has set tone for, Eric, is that there probably won't be too many stolen bases in this game from this point on, because the runners are now going to be a little bit leery about leaving that bag early, and there are not going to be very many big jumps. So the umpire has pretty much taken the stolen base away from anybody in this game, because
Yeah, exactly,
two
he really
have been
has.
called out leaving early. All of a sudden, Elizabeth gets wild. Elizabeth only has 2 walks in this game, 2 hit batsmen, and she's in danger of walking a second batter right now, unless she comes back with a strike.
And Macy Pugh will get on base.
So the
And
first time today, Nantucket gets back-to-back walks, and it brings up Christine Hansen, and she's due. She's been on base 3 times, but without a hit. Hit by a pitch, fielder's choice, 0 for 1, and she had the first walk in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and Christine, again, she's had a very good year. She's got the 4 home runs, 28 RBIs, and if there was ever a time for a hit, this is it. And the ball sneaks by, and the 2 runners advance. So we're going to have runners on second and third with Hansen at the plate. So a hit here would cut the lead by half. I'm sorry, but put 2 more runs on the board there.
By 40%, Eric.
By 42%.
No, 40% even.
And Hansen's going to take third. Christine Hansen delivers a huge hit out to right center field, scoring scoring Pugh and Cronin, and that will cut the lead to 3 runs. Hansen's on third.
So all of a sudden, a lot more shaky fielding on the Vineyard side. The right fielder fields the soft liner in good position. 1 run's going to score easily. The right fielder throws to the plate, may keep the second run from scoring. Nantucket's running all the way. She throws to the cutoff man, and then Vineyard commits 2 big errors by, actually only 1 error. The second baseman overthrew the catcher, but Christine Hansen takes the extra base as Vineyard doesn't make any attempt to get her at third. So now the score is 12-9.
Oh, and that one sneaks over the third base bag, and Hansen scores. Harvey goes to second with the stand-up double, and the Vineyard lead is 2.
Did that go under the third baseman's legs or by her?
It went under her glove and over the bag.
So another RBI for Adrian, her second. And the Nantucket answers with 3 big runs after the Vineyard looked like they were padding their lead with 3 runs in the top of the inning.
And Jen Murray sneaks through the gap there in right center. Jen Murray holds up at second. Perhaps wisely, no reason to risk going to third on that play. Harvey scores.
And now it's 12-11. So Nantucket with a big 4 spot here. 12-11, 1 out. Tying run out there at second base.
And Sarah McCauley steps to the plate. And lays down a beautiful bunt. And the third baseman bobbles it. Murray overran the bag, got back in time. The Whalers again living very dangerously on the base paths. But the Whalers have runners first and third, 1 out, bottom of the 6th inning, and they're down by 1 run. Kristen Bro is going to step to the plate. She's had a good game from the batter's box thus far.
Kristen has 2 for 3, and a hit here now ties the game. Nantucket trailing 12-11. And as you said, Nantucket very fortunate to get that runner back in under third. When the umpire makes that call, Eric, it looks like he's coming up with the out sign.
Yeah, it
but
does.
He gives an underneath sign. He calls a safe sign. He gives sort of an underneath sign. And it's very interesting and sort of confusing.
We might want to send Bob Laundrie back home because in his absence, the Whalers have battled back. We have a pinch runner. Jessie Nager is going to be pinch running for Sarah McCauley. She's on first now. Kristen Bro remains in the batter's box.
Now, can Sarah McCauley go back out to right? Or does Jessie have to go out to right? I'm always confused on that.
I believe Jessie, once you leave the game, I do not think you can return.
They just took Jen Murray out at third. I doubt if Jen Murray can't go back into the game.
No, you're right. In that case,
I know they can have 1 runner or something. I forget how the rule goes. They can have 1 runner in, pinch runner that the other player can go back in.
Oh, looked like the catcher came up.
It looks like Brittany Pierce on at third.
Nager takes off, and the pitcher, well, I'll tell you what happened there. On the last play, when the catcher was throwing 1 pitch ago, she came up looking like she was going to fire the ball down to second and ended up throwing to the pitcher. That time she came up, she was trying to fire to second, and the pitcher got confused and caught the ball. Jessie Nager ends up on second.
So Whalers have the tying and go-ahead run on base here. A hit and they could take the lead. But Kristen gets a big RBI, her
Kristen
fourth,
does her
and we
job
have a tie
there.
ball game.
Yeah, she really did her job there. She got it to the right side of the field. She almost beat out the throw, in fact, but they did throw out. But the big tying run scores, and Jessie Nager stands on third. And here's Rebecca Ross at the plate. The Whalers can take the lead with a hit.
Foul ball as Rebecca's trying to beat it out here with the 2-out bunt single. No sacrifice, no suicide squeeze with 2 outs.
Lost that into center, and the catch is made. We're going to the 7th inning with a tie ball game. Again, the winner of this game is the outright league champion. There's a little tricky maneuver with whether the Vineyard beats Provincetown on Saturday, but if the Whalers win again, they are the Cape and Islands League champion for 1997. We've clarified that rule that there was a little confusion about. You are able to pinch run for a player and put them back into the field. So Jen Murray remains on the mound. Sarah McCauley in right. Macy Pugh's now at third base as she ended last inning. And
I know you could pinch run for one run and going back in. I didn't think you'd do it for two, but evidently you can do it for two.
Well, yeah, we did know the one runner, but I haven't seen it happen with two, and
especially in one inning on one play. Anyway, Jen Murray actually facing her first batter because last inning she threw one pitch and she got out of the inning because it was a leaving early. Bottom in the order for her, 8, 9, and 1. See if she can do the job here so Nantucket has a chance to win it in the last of the 7th.
I think my recorder took a bullet. My recorder took a bullet.
Are we still on, Bob, there? Bob Host, we're recording. If you hear my voice, we are. If you don't hear my voice, well, you're not listening.
So Jen Murray walks Brianna Valentini, who is the number 8 batter, and not a good way to start the 7th.
Kate Mitchell will probably be attempting a bunt here to try to get the go-ahead run over to second. Here's where we really got to make the plays here now.
Oh, and the throw goes to center field, but they might have a play at third.
Good backup by Jen Murray, saved the run because the ball gets through Macy Pugh at third and was rolling basically out of play, and if it goes out of play, she would have scored anyways. But all of a sudden, Vineyard has the go-ahead run here on third base, nobody out.
Come on, Whalers, let's hold them now.
Now it's Kate Mitchell's job to keep the ball in play. Kate is 1 for 2 with the walk. She's been on twice, RBI. So she's done her job from the 9th spot. Let's see if Jen Murray can get her here.
And I've just been calculating some stats on Murray for the season. She has 3 wins and the 1 loss. A little bit of a higher ERA with 9.33. She appeared in 5 games and pitched 15 innings, 66 at-bats, 29 runs, and 14 hits. She did have 6 strikeouts, but a pretty high base on balls number with 23.
There's a lot of confusion on whether it was 1 strike or 2 strike, but it all becomes a moot point as Kate fouls off that pitch anyway, so now there's definitely 2 strikes.
Big strikeout for Jen Murray there. And we'll go to the top of the order with Veronica Malcorny. Sorry,
Veronica
we're mauling your names, but we believe that is the correct pronunciation.
At least on this island. It might be different on the other island.
Sure, it's completely different on the Vineyard.
They're not going to get a tape of this. We're not going to, even if they want a blank tape sent over, we're not going to send it over.
Well, listen, Dick, you called me Eric Schachner for about a year, so.
But
and I was sitting right next to you.
Now I know how. I think of that Pepsi commercial. No, it's Eric Shacker, as in the Shack Attack.
Oh, very good. I'm not.
Jen Murray doing a good job changing speeds there. She has a fastball and she has a change of pace, and she has the Vineyard batters a little bit out of key. And this here is a big out. Vineyard having runner on third, nobody out. Now it's runner on third, 1 out. Jen can get this batter here, and Nantucket's in good shape to get out of the inning.
Good play by Murray, and excellent play by Jen Murray at the mound. Gets the second out. That is huge for the Whalers. They have battled back with no outs and a runner on third. They get the strikeout. They get the easy grounder to the pitcher. Keeps the runner on third and the out at first. So 2 outs, top of the 7th, tie ball game.
And Elizabeth Rothwell.
The pitcher is standing at the plate.
So she can do it herself here. She can go. Jen can get it and get out of the inning.
A little
Two
bit
big
low
outs.
there.
Strikeout and a ground ball back to the pitcher. Shot up the gap, and that's going to give Vineyard the lead.
So Elizabeth Rothwell is going to go into second with the double. Stand-up double. Run scores. The Vineyard has taken the lead.
That was Elizabeth's first hit of the day, and it gives Vineyard the 13-12 lead here in the top of the 7th. And it brings up Melanie Flanders.
And Melanie Flanders had the big grand slam earlier.
2 walks and a grand slam for Melanie. And Nantucket wants to keep it to 1 now. They want to get Melanie.
Good pitch from Jen. She's got that windmill motion, a little different than Macy Pugh's. A little confusing first time you see her there. That one hit the umpire right in the shin. Heard it from here.
He's tough. He can take it.
He is tough. Got some padding.
Now, his brother Sandy Beach couldn't take it. Ground ball off of Macy Pugh's glove. And that wild pitch hurts because Vineyard gets his second run in from third easily, whereas if the runner was on second base, she wouldn't have scored on that play, Eric, because Rebecca Ross gets it back in a hurry.
Well, that's tough. The Whalers really need an out here.
And that brings up Mana Richfield.
Swing and a miss. Kristen
And
Broa made a
stolen
good play
base. They had the ball there in time. Kristen couldn't hang on to it. There was a little bit of a collision there.
Yeah, it looked like just a block. That was good play from the shortstop. That one drops. Sarah McCauley makes the play, makes the catch, and we are going to the bottom of the 7th inning. The Vineyard's up by 2 runs, and the Whalers, to win the Cape and Islands League Championship, need to come back with 3 of their own.
Nikki Butler. All right, leading off for the Whalers are going to be Nikki Butler, pinch hitting for Emily Butterworth. Emily drew the collar today at the bat, did the job in the field, but Nikki's coming up here.
Nikki had 27 at-bats this season, 259 average. Takes strike on the first pitch.
Nikki was one of those players that did a lot of early playing in right field.
And she can't quite beat that one out.
Nikki didn't get the tough part of the bat on it, just got the end of the bat on it.
Funny little
Couldn't get it.
squib out to the second baseman, and she could not beat out the throw.
So Shannon Cronin's up. Shannon's 0 for 2, been hit by a pitch and walked, on base twice, scored a run.
Rothwell fires in a strike there. Looked a little low, but Shannon will be in the hole. 1-1.
1-1, 1 out. Nantucket needs 2 base runners. And almost got the first there.
And did hit her.
It
Hit her
does.
right on the bottom of the foot.
Wait a minute. No. Empire. Shannon trying to talk her way on. If
Well,
anybody
it looked
could,
like
it would
he
be
looked like he
Shannon.
pointed her down to first base. I'm not sure what he was pointing at. Maybe he was pointing at Bob, saying what a handsome fellow is over there. But,
If anybody could talk their way on base, it would have been Shannon. Ooh.
oh, that's
Thought
a
about
tough call.
going, thought it was too high, but the umpire does not agree, calls it a strike, and not too many of the Nantucket faithful agree with the umpire on that call.
And despite the confusion, Shannon Cronin's on base. Team's leading hitter, Macy Pugh, who started this game on the mound,
Macy
step into
is
the batter's box.
Macy is 2 for 3 with a walk, 2 runs scored.
Good play by the catcher to grab that ball.
Right now, Vineyard really doesn't care too much about Shannon Cronin because her run doesn't mean anything. It's Macy's.
Macy pops up. That one's going to drop in. Center fielder cannot make the play. Shannon is going to third. Dangerous play there. Macy Pugh gets back into first base. The Whalers have runners on the corners after the error by the center fielder. 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning.
So Lady Luck is shining on the Whalers there.
And the sun has just come out as well. And Adrian's up, Bob points out. Although Adrian is not up, Christine Hansen will be
Christine
up.
Hanson's up. Macy Pugh comes up a little bit limp. The umpire's giving her a chance to walk it off there. She dove back in. Vineyard, after the drop in center field for the error, had 2 chances to go for the Nantucket base runners. They had a shot to go for Shannon Cronin third. They choose not to make the throw there. Macy Pugh got herself too far off first. They really had a good shot at her. They didn't take it, which surprised me because the Shannon's run wouldn't count. You get Macy in a pickle, you get your second out, and it's still 12-11.
And yeah, it looked like Macy kind of fell on her leg, crunched it under her, but she's okay. Chris Morey out to check on her, and it's going to be Christine Hansen.
Let's see if they throw through to get Macy and let Shannon score. Because again, Shannon's run doesn't mean anything. It's Macy's run which means the most. They may throw through to get her if Macy goes. Right now Macy isn't moving, and Chris Murray had to come over and talk to Macy because, as you say, she's a little bit limp there and he doesn't know if she can go or not.
So Christine Hansen quickly in the hole. 1 and 2.
Christine is 1 for 2, but she's been on base 4 times. Hit by a pitch, fielder's choice, walk and single. She's trying to find out how many different ways you can get on first base. She's got 4 of them already.
Well, we'd like to see her pass right over first base on this at-bat.
1 and 2, 1 out, tying runs on base. Will is trailing 14-12 in the last of the 7th.
Christine Hansen gets a hold of it. It is over the center fielder's head.
Might be the
2
ball
runs
game.
are going to score.
This could be the
Christine
ball
Hansen's
game.
going to be waved in. She's coming home. The play comes to the plate, and she's safe. Christine Hansen's home run wins the ball game and the league championship for the Whalers. They've won their first ever Cape and Islands League crown. Liz Rothwell, the pitcher, throws her glove down, and the Whalers will win this game on Christine Hansen's home run that brought in 3 runs.
A shot over the center fielder's head. It looked like she was going to make a play on it, but she turned around, got over her head. Once it got over her head, you knew Christine Hansen was going to go all the way, and she slid in at home. 3-run homer does it.
They can't challenge that one.
They can't challenge that one. No, Vineyard has lost the game, we think, unless they go back home and write a report up. So,
And the Nantucket team is overjoyed with the win, as they should be.
so Nantucket has unofficially won at 15-14.
I think we'll call it official now.
But we know that Vineyard can be crybabies, and they may go home and write a letter and protest, and we may be back here next Tuesday playing this last inning over again.
Play it from 7.5.
Maybe a seagull flew in or something like that to cause the center fielder to lose the ball.
I'm gonna go grab Christine.
Yeah. So the other girls out there shaking hands. The Nantucket Whalers are sky high. We sent Eric Shacker down the field, see if we can get Christine Hansen over here. The Nantucket Whalers have come back with a big 3-run 7th inning, a back-and-forth game all day. Nantucket took an early 3-0 lead. Vineyard came back and went ahead 4-3. Nantucket then went ahead 7-4. Vineyard came back and went ahead 9-7. And then Vineyard went ahead 12-7. Nantucket came back with a big 5 spot to tie it up 12-12. Vineyard scored 2 in the top of the 7th to take a 14-12 lead. But Nantucket answered with a big 3 runs in the last of the 7th. And we'll send it down on the field to Eric Shaka and the hero of the game, Christine Hansen.
So Christine Hansen with her 5th home run on the year. None bigger than this one, though.
No, I just wanted to win the game. I knew we weren't going to lose. I wasn't going to get off the field if we lost.
And how you feeling right now?
Okay. Pretty good. Can't breathe that much, but I'm going to be okay because we won and we're the champs forever.
Christine Hansen with the game-winning hit in the bottom of the 7th. Whalers win the Cape and Islands League Championship.
Smile, Christine, come on. All right. So this is Dick Kerman checking out. Bob Lundy on camera for most of the game. Jessica Bro filled in for a little bit. Eric Shaka on the mic. We'd like to thank all our fine sponsors for bringing you this championship game. Don Allen Ford, Congdon & Coleman Insurance, Pacific National Bank, Harbor Fuel Oil Corporation, Nantucket Wash and Dry, Nantucket Bank, The Inquirer and Mirror, Nantucket Airlines, Young's Bicycle Shop, Island Spirits, Something Natural, Mike Lamb Incorporated. And check your papers and see where the Whaler girls will be playing, hopefully home, where the Whaler boys will be playing, hopefully home, as the tournament starts next week. Good night from Channel 3.